So we are expecting a heat wave, at least at this point, expecting a high temperature of 90 degrees for your Sunday, Monday, and again on Tuesday.
But overnight into tomorrow, humidity levels climb, as does the heat. Here's the deal. The heat wave starts today in New York City.
This weekend, just wait until tomorrow. The 5th day of our heat wave is expected to be incredibly uncomfortable and potentially dangerous.
It's too hot. I need to get out of this city. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this episode of Go Before You Don't, and welcome to the beautiful, the breathtaking, the much, much cooler than New York City Yes, we are here in New Zealand. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, I hope you enjoyed that little intro. It was a little bit dramatic, I know, but it's actually funny that I managed to compress what was a grueling 36-hour journey into just that little, like 2-minute video. The magic of movie making, people, the magic of movie making. So yes, we're here in New Zealand and it is a lot cooler, but it's still a beautiful day. The sun is shining, birds are swaying, the trees are singing. It's wonderful. So right now we are in the South Island of New Zealand, specifically on the west coast in a small town called Fox Glacier. This is our first vlog in New Zealand, but this is not our first time in New Zealand. This is not our first time in Fox Glacier. Right now we're working in a holiday park in Fox Glacier, and we've actually worked and lived here for 6 months last year. The reason that you haven't seen anything from this area is because when we left here we went to South America, we travelled up to Bolivia and got robbed. So this is where it happened. We came off the bus through this gateway here. We walked over to this first bench and I put my bag down just where they're sitting right there. Kalisi sat just where she sat right there. I went down this way to get a coffee, and we think what happened is that the guy sat in this second row here behind Kalisi, and when she looked that way he just took the bag. Now when we were robbed, they took our camera bag, but in the camera bag was all the hard drives that had all of the footage and pictures and videos and vlog content from our time in New Zealand. And that really stung. That really hurt. To know that we were never going to get to post all the incredible things that we did here. And I know it's partly my fault for being so slow at editing and uploading videos, and I'm trying very hard now to not do that again. But the thought of never being able to share the content that we filmed last time was just so heartbreaking. And we had actually planned on heading up to Canada to work, but we have come back to New Zealand. So the long and short of it is that we are back in New Zealand, back in Fox Glacier. Second time round for us, but the first time for you guys, first time for the vlog. And I'm so excited because there's so many great things to do here. We have so many great vlogs planned. I'm sure you already can tell from the little dramatic action movie sequence that introduced this video that we've already done something incredible, which was a 3-hour hike on the Fox Glacier with a guide, just hiking through ice caves, and just an incredible experience. That will be the next vlog, so make sure you do tune in for that. But I also feel very grateful and privileged that I am in a position in my life to come back here. and relive this. I was so upset when I lost that footage, and I know first world problems, but it's something that I did want for the vlog. It's something I wanted for 20 years from now to show like my grandkids or whatever. I'm just very lucky that I get to come back here and do this, so I am very, very grateful. It's just a very, very exciting time. It's a beautiful country, really incredible. If any of you have ever been to New Zealand on holiday or done a road trip around this country, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's insanely beautiful, so scenic and picturesque. It's just great, it really is. So I thought we could start off our New Zealand vlogs with a few tips for any of you out there who are considering coming to New Zealand and you want to come to Glacier Country or Fox Glacier or its neighbouring town Franz Josef, which has its own glacier as well. I just thought I'd put together a few tips and pieces of advice for you if you're coming to Fox Glacier, because there is a few things that you should probably know before you get here. So let's get started with that. So I just want to get this one out of the way first because it's got to be the most important thing to consider before you come to Fox Glacier, and that is that you cannot fly your drone here. You just can't do it. It is completely unsafe to fly a drone here because of all the scenic flights and helicopter flights that fly out of this area. Now I know it's really, really frustrating because the area is so beautiful, and believe me, I understand the desire to fly a drone here and get some video footage and some aerial photography, but it's far too dangerous. You can actually cause a helicopter crash with one of these things. So it's a bit more important than just getting some drone footage. You know, essentially there's people's lives at risk. So because it's such a serious situation here, the maximum fine if you're caught flying a drone is 30,000 New Zealand dollars, which is a crazy amount of money. So if you're in New Zealand and you're desperate to fly your drone, I do recommend that just to be safe, you check this website here before you do fly. This gives you a whole list of places in New Zealand where it is safe and you're not gonna get into trouble for flying your drone. So I definitely recommend checking that out before you get it up in the air. So the town is actually, well, it's not even a town, it's actually regarded as a township. It's so small, it's very, very small. There's no supermarket, for example. There is a small general store, which is really good. I mean, they've got everything that I'd say most people would consider to be essentials, but as you would expect in a small town, it is slightly more expensive than places that you'll find in the cities where there's more competition and things like that. You're not going to find a pack and save in Fox Glacier, unfortunately. But they can provide you with most things that you'll need. I would say that if you have specific dietary conditions, or if you're like a vegan or something, then you might want to be a little more prepared and stock up before you get here. Most of you who are planning this trip are probably expecting this anyway, but there are people who show up here and they're kind of unprepared and they wish that they'd thought ahead before they arrived. So I think it is worth mentioning. So like most places that have a lot of pros, you're bound to find at least a couple of cons, and one of the cons of Fox Glacier is the sandflies. So these are basically little black flies that give you a wee nasty bite. There's a sandfly on my finger right this very second. I hope you appreciate this. I'm actually letting him bite me so that you might see him. He's having a right good feast on my finger right now. Some people react worse to the bites than others. Me, for example, I don't actually react too badly. I mean, I can feel it. Whereas Kalisi, on the other hand, she gets some mad little bumps appearing on her skin, kind of like a mosquito bite. And it's lucky that they don't bother me too much because I absolutely hate the smell of sandfly repellent. They make it with citronella, which is like that citrusy, lemony smell, and I hate it. I have heard that this brand, Ocarito, is one of the better ones that you can get. That's just like a little suggestion for you if you're coming and you're looking for a sandfly repellent. So this one I find quite funny, but I mean, it's funny for me because I know that there's nothing to worry about, but I can imagine that for some people who experience this for the first time, it's not so funny and actually would be quite scary. But from time to time in Fox Glacier, there is a very loud noise that fills the township, and it's very reminiscent of a World War II siren, like an air raid siren. Imagine another country's coming to bomb, and this is the noise that they play in the cities or your town to let you know that something bad is coming. It definitely sounds like something bad is coming. So whenever it happens, you see people kind of looking around and they're a bit slightly concerned, but they don't want to be the first people to freak out, so they're kind of seeing what other people are doing. The noise sounds like this. So I'm sure you can agree that that is quite an alarming sounding noise if you didn't know what it was. A lot of people come up and they ask me if it's a tsunami warning or an earthquake warning, which is a bit weird because one, you can't predict earthquakes, and two, if there's an earthquake, you probably don't need a siren to let you know that it's happening. But it's actually none of these things, of course. It is, in fact, the local fire station. It's a volunteer fire station, and this is the noise that they use to alert their volunteers that their assistance is required. So because the cell service or the mobile phone reception in this area is not great, they can't really risk not being able to get a hold of their members by trying to phone them or send them a message of some sort. So the easiest way for them to get in touch with their volunteers is to play this really, really loud noise, this terrifying noise in town. I mean, it's effective, it does get their attention, you can't miss it. It's just unfortunate that, you know, the rest of us have to hear it as well. And this thing goes off day or night. I've heard it go off at 3 AM and people coming out of their beds and just... New Zealand really reminds me of Scotland when it comes to weather, meaning that on a nice weather day when you've got clear blue skies, mountains, lakes, there's no place you'd rather be. It's insanely gorgeous. But just like Scotland, when you get the days where it's nothing but rain, mist, fog, just overcast, it's not the same experience. And that's exactly what it's like here in Fox. I would definitely recommend to anyone who's planning a road trip or a holiday and you've got time restrictions, make sure, most importantly out of everywhere, that Fox Glacier has good weather when you come here. And the only reason I say that is because everything is weather dependent. If it's rainy or too cloudy or misty, the helicopters won't fly, the airplanes won't fly, you won't be able to do skydiving, you won't even be able to take the free walks and see the mountains and the glacier because the mist is that thick and that low. It really is pointless to be here. There's not much. Actually, in Fox Glacier, there's nothing indoors to do. So if you come here, and I've seen it happen to people, if you come here and the weather's miserable, your time's going to be miserable too. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you found it useful. If you're not already planning on coming to New Zealand, I highly recommend it. It's a great country to come and do a road trip. So if you did like this video, please give the like button a wee smash for us. Make sure you're subscribed and that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that we upload in the future. And we have so many great videos coming. I'm so excited. Can't wait to share them with you. And just before we go, I had an idea that I wanted to share with you. Now, normally at the end of our videos, I sign off by saying if you haven't been to, and then I name the place where we are. For example, if you haven't been to Vietnam or if you haven't been to New York City, and I normally try to have a person from that place finish the video by saying our tagline and channel name, go before you don't.
Go before you don't! Go before you don't! Go before you don't! Go New York!
The plan initially when I started the vlog was to always have someone from these places say go before you don't at the end of the video, but that has proven to be quite difficult. There's not always someone around or willing to do it. So I thought it might be fun to ask you guys watching these videos if you wanted a feature at the end of the video. Now I know you're most likely not going to be from Fox Glacier or New York or wherever we are, but I still think it would be a cool interaction to have you guys say go before you don't at the end of the videos. So if you are interested in doing this, then just take a little video of yourself saying go before you don't, send it to the email address at the bottom of the screen here, which is gobeforeyoudont@gmail.com. We will receive your video and you might find yourself signing off our next vlog, who knows. But until we have our first viewer signing off the vlog, if you haven't been to Fox Glacier, that's where you'll say go before you don't. Yeah, you got it.